YouTube. Have a guess on what we're doing this week. Drawing. Gonna be finishing this colour pencil drawing that I've been working on about 5 years apparently. Also, got a cheeky little package from someone. Got sent a little something from a brand. I'm joking, I bought it myself. Faber-Castell, if you're watching this, why have you not sponsored me yet? I use your colour pencils all the time and I'm over the free marketing. Please send me. Right, sorry about that. Ordered a bunch of art supplies, basically, for myself. Things that I want to try out and experiment and kind of art supplies I've always wanted. So before we get started, let me show you a little art haul on the new stuff that I've got, which is kind of cool. Right, so firstly, a couple refills on the colour pencils that I needed. A couple of graphite pencils, 4B, 4B and 7B. Because I'm going to be working on a large graphite piece soon, I needed the appropriate tools. Oh, and this next one I'm so excited about because I've always wanted these. Got some copic markers. I do think these will work really nicely with colour pencils. I've also used something similar in terms of these marker pens. Basically, when I first started drawing again properly, that's when I used them. I got these colours because these are the sort of palette that I use with my colour pencils, so I thought it would translate easily. I want to draw more people. Got these. It's really hard sometimes to get the appropriate style and aesthetic I want with colour pencils in terms of drawing people. This video, we're going to be experimenting with these in a sketchbook for sure. Oh, and last but not least, I got one of these rubbers for the graphite piece as well. This will help with detail. It's essentially just like a pencil, but it's a rubber. Really excited to try these copic markers out. I think that's the first thing I'm going to do this week. Yeah, let's run a sketchbook session. Guys, I fucked up. I didn't record the process. I was sat in bed and I decided to doodle. This is what I'll come out with. I'm actually really happy with this, and to understand where the idea came from, I need to go back in time a little bit. I want to discuss about how I've made drawing a lot easier using world building exercises. Now, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you'll know that anytime I have an idea, it's just something I think is cool. It doesn't really have any meaning, it doesn't really have any purpose or context surrounding it. And while that's fine, sometimes I think that can often lead me down a path where I run out of ideas for like a couple of weeks and I get caught in this loop of just drawing similar stuff, and I normally just wait for like a cool image to appear in my brain. And honestly, I'm really over just randomly coming up with an idea that I think is cool. I want my art to have a bit more of a story and a bit more of a narrative, and I want it to feel whole. It can live in its own universe, and anytime anyone sees my style or my art, they are instantly transported to that world. So the other day when I was drawing on my current big piece that I'm doing in colour pencils, I was staring at it on my desk and thinking to myself, okay, objectively this is a cool image, there's nothing wrong with it. What would it look like if I gave this drawing some context? Now, world building is really interesting because it's the same way authors will give you subtle clues and hints to give you a visual idea of what the world feels like, what it looks like, what these characters are facing, what problems they have. Now, I kind of needed to reverse engineer that. Obviously, writers have to visually give you clues, but artists, the visuals are there already. So what would it look like if I had a written lore? And then obviously that gives me certain subjects to draw and certain motifs to add to the drawing. And I honestly think these sort of stories and narratives that I build in my own brain are catalysts that can help me get better at art. And of course, this isn't the only way to come up with ideas when drawing, but it's just starting to make a little bit more sense to me, especially since I want to start drawing people more. I never knew what sort of people I want to draw, and now I have this like visual library in my brain of, okay, these people are going to exist in this world. Honestly, what's really interesting about this is it can just be endless. One idea I came up with was a dragon that exists only in the sky but yearns to be on the ground connecting with humans. Now that gives me like a really interesting visual idea of what I could actually draw on the page to represent that story. And then of course you can get really granular with it and go back in the past and think about why this dragon was here in the first place. Why is he in the sky? Why is he trapped in the sky? Why can't he touch the ground? You know, there's so many different avenues you can explore. It just keeps ideas fresh and new. And then also I think that will help my style come to life a bit more when there's certain just visual identities that I use constantly. That in itself builds up a specific style. So for example, I think all the people that I draw going forward are going to have like weird eyebrows and symbols on their face if they are a part of this lore in my world. So that's kind of it. Obviously it's early stages with me figuring this all out. I've always wanted to draw people as well, and I want my art to start feeling like inspired by all the shows I grew up on as a kid, like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Digimon. That style of drawing humans in like a cartoony / anime way, I think really connects to me. I tried doing realistic portraits and realistic drawings. Yeah, it kind of stifles how creative I can be, and I want to express myself through a world that I can slowly build on and then look back in, say, 20 years. How realised this world is now, because there's so many different stories in this world, but they're all kind of connected. Hey, maybe I'll even write a book about it one day. Now I've got visual cues, a visual library. I feel like ideas are coming to me in stronger, well-formed ways now. And they don't just feel like, oh, I'm gonna draw a tiger and there needs to be someone cool there. And I know literally you're looking at me drawing a tiger with something cool there now, but in my brain it makes so much more sense. So basically my point is, if you are stuck for ideas, then maybe give world building a try. It really has helped me understand what are the things I want to be drawing and where I want to go with my art. I know a lot of people, including myself, struggle to come up with ideas all the time. It's like such a huge part of art. Coming up with an idea and then making it into the thing you saw in your brain or the thing you planned out, and they never really are the same. It's always something completely new from the actual idea. It's hard. So we need tools and understanding to help us make that process easier. That idea sounds good to you and you would like to understand a little bit more of the lore that I'm producing, then let me know, because this is just the start. Maybe I can narrate a little bit of a story every now and then when I'm drawing a piece to give you a bit more context and clues as to what's going on in the picture. So hopefully you found that really helpful. Would love to start a conversation in the comments about how do you guys come up with ideas? What's one process that you use to unlock your visual library and put it onto the page? Anyway, I've got a colour pencil drawing to finish. Road trip. Seeing my friends after a few years. We're going camping. Don't know whose idea that was. Let's all sit in a tent that's fucking hot and lay on the hard ground and have an awful night's sleep. There's absolutely no signal, so I can't even go on YouTube Shorts. What am I going to do? Talk to them? No, I don't like camping, but I'm willing to change that. This decade of my life, I'm wanting to change that. I love hiking, but I just don't like camping. I like somewhere comfortable to sleep because I'm long and I have just long limbs and I can't put them in a comfortable position sometimes when I'm on the floor. So we'll see how this goes. I'm seeing my boys in a little minute. So excited to see them, and yeah, I'll fill up my creative well, come back stronger than ever. Right, it's actually time to finish this colour pencil drawing. I'm not over it yet, but it's getting to the point where I want to move on to other projects and think about other things, and that's stopping me because I see it all the time on my desk. Really, I think I just need to see it home, lock in for a few hours. Hopefully I don't hate it by the end. I think I'm going to slow down to try and plan some of the colours a little bit later as well. Okay. Hello guys, it's Lewis in the studio booth recording a voiceover because I thought it'd be easier to do this than captions. I just wanted to talk about this drawing a little bit because boy did I struggle, and it took a lot of perseverance. Honestly, it sounds like I've gone to war and back. I feel like a lot of creative people feel this, but if you are in the middle of a creative project or a project you've been working on for a long time, you reach a point in it where it just becomes tedious and you start to hate it, you start having self-doubt thoughts. Maybe you think of a new idea and then the new idea is shiny and new and you want to focus on that and not the thing you've been looking at for 2 weeks. There were so many times, you would have noticed it through my other videos as well, where I would have worked a little bit on this piece and then went to draw in my sketchbook because it's fun and easy. I just reached the point today where I needed to lock in. Now, I kind of just wanted to unpack what I was feeling a little bit. Honestly, it makes me feel like a shit artist. There will come a time in my drawing where I just don't enjoy drawing anymore, and it's mainly on parts of the drawing that aren't interesting to me. So once I got to like the leg armor, I was just like, this is not visually interesting to me and it's a bit of a chore to get through this. But I knew once I finish this, the whole picture makes sense. Like without this, it doesn't make sense and I need to do it. Personally, that just makes me feel terrible because I'm like, okay, I should like every part of the process as an artist. There is a way of like digesting this where I don't feel so terrible, because even in like my job, like I love my job, there are still parts of my job that I hate, and I'm assuming being a full-time artist, there are parts of being an artist that you don't enjoy. Like sending emails, like the business side of it. But that's why it feels so weird, for there is part of my art process that I just don't enjoy and I have to get through it. So I'm hoping as the years go by and with each drawing I do, I just get a little bit more used to that and a little bit less scared. And I should just remind myself, like, I know this is going to happen, you're not going to enjoy this bit, so what are ways I can make it fun? Maybe put a show on in the background, just try and like black out for a little bit. And I also think what really helped me during this piece was the ability to step back every now and then, even just like a 10-minute break, and look at the piece from afar and really analyze what it is I'm trying to make by the end of this. So for instance, the bunny that I'd done near the hand, I'd fucked it up basically. I wasn't happy with it. The rest of the piece is looking kind of nice, and now I'm just going to look at that bunny every time. Like, that's going to be the main focal point for me. So I took a step back and was like, okay, let's use some of my world building exercises that I previously mentioned. How are these bunnies formed? Where are they coming from in the picture? When I realized, okay, I can make the shadow behind the night be forming the bunnies. Once I realized that and I went back to the drawing, my god, did it fucking help. It made me alter this mistake and I used it to my advantage, and it made so much more sense to the drawing. I was also having trouble realizing I'd sketched this out, but I hadn't really planned the colors. Someone actually mentioned in a comment previously, if you're unsure about the colors you want to do, if you have an iPad or you put it on the computer and then like color it in on Photoshop and Procreate, took a picture of the drawing, colored in roughly what I thought I wanted them to look like. So then that gave me the confidence to then actually draw in that color. I should do that more. I should actually just do thumbnail fucking drawings and do the colors for them. I'll do the sketch, but I'll never do the color. God, that would save me so much time. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I just pushed through all this feeling and anguish. Honestly, something beautiful comes out of it at the end. It's not the idea I thought of originally. And isn't that just lovely? You set out to go and walk this path and you just end up in your own little adventure, and you're going down different paths and side quests that you never knew existed, but it's fun and you had fun in the end. Even though some of your process fucking sucks, you might just hate drawing hands, and I think that's so normal. Like, no one should enjoy every part of their process. There's always going to be parts that you don't enjoy, and we should celebrate that. We have to push through hard shit sometimes to get the reward we want. Yeah, thank god we have finished this piece now. It's almost time for the reveal. Guys, holy shit. We actually finished the colour pencil drawing. Honestly, all I had to do was lock in for a few hours, put my headphones on, and just vibe, really. Art reveal. What do we think? I think I'm really proud of myself for pushing through all the negative feelings I was feeling during drawing it. This is the first time in a long time I've really liked a piece that I've done and spent this long on, so that's a plus. I really do attribute that to when I was feeling those dark feelings during. Sorry, I'm acting like drawing is like being forced upon me. How I got through that, honestly, was one, stopping in the middle when I felt those feelings and planning the rest of it, because I wasn't confident going in with what the colours I had originally. Planning those out on the iPad and then having the confidence to then carry on with the drawing. But also the world building exercise really helped, because it gave me a little bit more context on how I can like make these rabbits make sense to the drawing. And at a point of the drawing when I was doing this rabbit, I really didn't like it and I'd messed it up because this perspective was all weird on the original sketch, and I kind of followed through too hard with it and I couldn't delete it. I added in this one and then just made the shadow basically from the night. It looks like the shadow is forming rabbits and then they multiply into other ones and separate after. Honestly, that just feeds into the lore that I've got deep into my brain at the moment with my world, and it really helped. It gave me more confidence knowing that, okay, this piece has a little bit more context now and it looks sick. Also, quickly before we go, what's happened to the art desk? Probably no one's thinking that. Basically, turns out sitting in front of a wall isn't the most inspiring thing when you're drawing. I moved it. We're about to move out anyway, so I thought, well, I'll give it one last hurrah in here, and then at least I can see from this perspective. Also got a space for my figurines. And yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just love a cozy little corner to draw in. Like, look at this. You telling me you wouldn't want to draw there? So that's going to be it for the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in today. Little sneak peek into what's happening next week. I'll let you guess what we're going to be drawing on the front of this. It won't be for financial gain because I know that company don't mess around with cease and desists. This is just for a friend. I'm just doing a nice thing, okay? Let me know what you think of this as well in the comments below. If you love it or you hate it. I don't even care if you hate it, to be honest, because I've moved on and I don't know why you haven't moved on from it yet. I'm obviously joking. So yeah, that's going to do it. We'll see you in the next one.